Hello, this is Brent Ferguson presenting the admissions consulting training to the stakeholders with Houston Christian University Online and Residential Graduate Administration. This has been developed to help new hires coming into the online consulting division with Houston Christian University Online and our Adult and Graduate Studies division. We wanted to, in the past, put something like this together, but now that I have an opportunity to do that for this course, this actually will be used with our new hiring class that comes through in the coming week. High-level information here. When you look at our overarching goals, we really want to make sure we're developing confidence with the consultant, where they know to access the information, that sort of thing, that they are confident what information they need to give to the students, that we're getting qualified, motivated students into our admissions funnel, how we can identify non-qualified applicants and have the knowledge to know how to decipher between the two of those. Another one of our overarching goals was just to make sure we're providing program knowledge and aligning the prospective students that my consultants speak with and getting them with their educational goals to help them in their career path in the future. And then, just also to want to ensure, as one of our last goals here is to ensure that regardless of whatever level school or program of interest that the student has, that we will be on track to successfully walk them through the admissions process based off of what their goals are. As you can see here, this is our basic landing page. There is a link that will be provided to our new hire as soon as they start. When you look at the Basic Training 101, we have it split out into 2 weeks or 5 business days. Initially, this was going to be out with an 8-week training schedule, but after speaking with stakeholders and other administrators for overviewing this training, it was decided upon to do it within 2 weeks, 5 business days each week for training. We also include some of the basic links that consultants need to learn to bookmark for day-to-day, whether they need to ask time off, when we go to set up their systems, our overarching consulting manual that we use, and also just policy information within the Pampa Online Division, other various links that they need to be able to utilize, degree plans, that's also important while we're speaking with students, and then just an academic calendar so we can give out specific dates and be corrective when students need to start, when they need to get their items in, that sort of thing. So if you look at week 1 training, this is split out to do 2 things. The first half of the day will be going over high-level information that the consultant is going to need to know when speaking with prospective students. When we are speaking with someone like in the military, for example, they need to know where to access this information and what the understanding is of the policies that surround military students. The same goes for international students and the talking points that we need to be able to give to those students. We also want to look at the high-level need-to-know information, which gives an high-level overview of the tuition rates, basic admissions requirements for the undergraduate, graduate, and doctoral programs, and then some of the newer programs that may have different tuition rates, some of the other policies that we will also still follow up with later on in the trainings. But this is a good thing for the consultants to print off, to also maybe just have access to and link as well, so they can have a fast reference point. So this is going to be high level information. And as you can see here, we have the military information, which again, this goes over the talking points and then international admissions. The second half of the day for each training day, the consultant will sit with another one of my consultants on the team that have worked here for a while, and they will shadow with them. That means that the consultant will share their screen with the new hire, and they will be able to observe the consultant who has been here a while how they move through their screens, how they speak and engage with students, how they access the information. This is something that will happen every single training day within the 2 weeks of training. As you can see here on day 2, we do discuss diploma mills, and then we also look at the non-degree seeking application process and dual enrollment. Again, not all days are going to be full with a lot of training at the beginning in the first half. Some of this may include them having to do HR benefits appointments, which is depending on when HR can do this. So we want to leave some time and space for their lunch, but also to do any type of access information they need to with HR. This is proven to be needed within the first week for sure. Day 3, we look at financial aid, master promissory note, entrance counseling, financial aid webinar. That goes about an hour for them to review. And then there's another webinar that they will observe as well. So 2 webinars that will be reviewed, and then the high-level information for financial aid. And then again, the second half of the day will be shadowing. Another one of the days here for day 4, they will review regional versus national accreditation, and then what the FERPA policies are, and then scenarios and things are given for that training. And then this would be another one of those days that may be a little bit lighter in the information for the first half of the day, because we want to have an opportunity for them to do whatever administrative stuff they have to do. This also includes safe colleges. This is also something separate from HR, and this time will be allocated for that to be completed during that time. And then training day 5, we want them to know pretty much everything they can about HCU, general information about the program, why students should come to HCU, what our 10 pillars are, and then basically just knowing the main goal and purpose of this. Now, one of the things for every single day as well, when they are finished the first half of the day, they do have to write a 200 to 300 word overview of the information they had of that day, what they took from that, any questions that they may have that can be addressed, and then that way I have an understanding that they know the information from that day and any questions can be addressed. And then we look here at week 2 training. This is where we dive deep into programs and the policies that come with those programs, that sort of thing. But then I also try to mix things up here within week 2 so that they understand that there are other things, that dynamics that go into what we do as consultants, which comes into like our marketing, drip campaigns for texting and emails that we do for leads that we have coming in. Obviously, we want to look at the undergraduate programs. This goes over everything at a high level, links everything to the website, and gives a basic description for those programs, and then also certificates and things of that nature that would be offered at the undergraduate level. And then we look at the call flow talking points. This is also another important area. The talking points here is essentially what they use for discussing students, and we walk through this and dissect it with the consultant. And then also this is the week where I want them to have the call flow in front of them, so while they are shadowing with another consultant, they can actually follow through with the call flow. And then just this reviews our different marketing campaigns, things of that nature. And then going into day 2, we will look at online graduate doctoral programs. As you can see here, this goes into extensive detail with each program under whichever school that they are affiliated with, programs that we may not offer anymore. For instance, for this course, this will give you kind of an idea of what this looks like. It gives everything linked to the website, but also what the tuition is, what the admissions requirements are, and then what the students can do with the program. So we have high-level information to give to students. The One App, this is actually the application that we use for all of our programs when we do apply a student into the university, and this is another important part of the process where we actually dissect the application in detail. We walk through every single thing that they need to do, what little nuances are part of the application process as well. And then we look at dispositions and interactions, which is what's used in our Slate system, which is the CRM system that we utilize. And then again, second half of the day, they will be shadowing. Day 3, we do look at financial aid. Again, and this is important that we look through this process, again, primarily because financial aid is one of the most important dynamics for students getting into the school. If they can't pay for it and they don't know what to do, we want to make sure that not only the students but the consultants are fully aware of what it is that they have to do and study and what needs to be presented to the student to get them through the funnel for admissions, but also how they need to pay for it, how they need to do it responsibly. So that will be reviewed again. Residential graduate programs on day 4 will be discussed and reviewed. This is set up in a little different in the dynamic, and there's a lot of information. And I'll click on one of the programs that is fairly popular when you look at education. And this again gives everything at a high level with talking points, admissions requirements, tuition, so on and so forth. It does go into those details for every program. We also look at sales process, where this has videos that the consultant can watch. This does take a little bit of time. Some of the videos are a little lengthy, but this is for the consultants to know the sales process, because there's some dynamics of our job that do include sales training, and that does include sales training, that does need to overcome objections while we're speaking with students, that sort of thing. And then we look at quality assurance, which this is important because what this does is it helps me give them the expectation of what I look for in the quality of their conversations and the applications that they take for the students. And then lastly here, we look at day 5. This is where we really dive into the applications that and software that the consultant will be using through our RingCentral, phone systems, Slate, also how they need to do their new access for everything, because usually by day 5 of the second week, I really want to have them start taking phone calls at the end of the day if possible. If not, we do it the following week. But also, there's just other policies like taking an application that's older than a year and how that process works. And then if we have our systems go down, we do have a cheat sheet that they can use. But for like the RingCentral information here, this gives all the links that are needed for that. This also can take some time because some of the training is a little lengthy. So again, as we look at the overall scope of the training module here, this is set up to have some flexibility to it, but also to be basic, because we don't want to overcomplicate the training process with new hires coming in. That has happened in the past, and I feel that this process and this flow of training gives some structure to what needs to happen, and then also is something that can be built upon. It can also be tweaked along the way. So very excited to see everything coming into place here with this manual or training, and then also looking at accessing the admissions manual that they will utilize as well down the road for all the information that they need. I greatly appreciate your time. Thank you for watching this video, and I am very excited to get our first class of trainees through the funnel here. Have a blessed day.